to you and you and you and you and you. Hi, yes, I'm crazy. Welcome to Naturally Kim's Knitting. I'm Kim, and this is my podcast all about knitting and spinning and dyeing of yarn, all of which I do right from right here. I'm sorry, there's birds flying out my window. I was looking at them. Um, all of which I do right here in my home outside of Lima, Ohio. And I live here with my beautiful kitty cat, Purdy Cassandra. That's Purdy. She was named for the college that my husband and I attended to, Purdue. And I live here with my puppy dog, Ginger Snap. I live here with my very gorgeous husband, Randy. And I live here with his father, Ronald, and Ronald's cat, Tommy. Big house, full house. I love it, though. Today is June 9th, and this is episode 214. You can find me all over the internet. I mean, well, not everywhere. Sorry, I don't do everything. But on Instagram, I'm knitting_Kim. I'm Naturally Kim's Knitting on YouTube, Blogger, Facebook, and WordPress. And on Ravelry, I'm Napiers. Oh my goodness. Napiers Knit is my page. And then Naturally Kim's Knitting Podcast Group has a page. And so you can find me on any of those. And that Ravelry page is a good place. I just love when things kind of go into one to another. The Ravelry page is where you can enter craft alongs. We have right now 2 going on. One is for finished objects, anything that you finished in the month of June. It did not have to be started in the month of June. It just has to be finished in the month of June. I know this is a little different than a lot of people's, but I'm sorry, my shaking camera. We have a plastic mat it's sitting on, and it's not quite level. And I didn't realize how bad until my camera started shaking. No, I'm not having an earthquake. It's just, I'll try not to move, which is going to be difficult for me. So what was I saying? Oh, so you just finish an object, take a picture, post it under the finished object for June. If there's a name for your pattern, please include it. And at the end of the month, if I have 10 people, I draw 1 number. If I have 20, I draw 2. If I have 30, I draw 3, and so on. And what are the prizes you want to know? Well, for this one, I keep the same prizes every time. You can get a $10 knit picks or a $10, sorry, I'm having distractions today. $10 knit pick gift card or a $10 Amazon gift card. Or you can have any giftable pattern on Ravelry, any giftable pattern up to $10. That's the one. Now, I mentioned last week that we were going to do, I'm sorry, I don't know why my nose is itching so much. I do know why, but I'll tell you in a little bit. Oh my goodness, just a minute. I just realized every morning I like to go around and open up the house and, have a little fresh air till it gets too warm. And we have a sliding screen door in our living room, and there's a screen on it. I opened up the sliding door, didn't pay attention, and the screen was wide open. Now I have 2 very curious kitty cats, and I also have some beautiful finches that have a nest in my tree, and I didn't want the 2 to mix. That's why I had to pause and close the door. Then I had to do a kitty cat check to make sure they were both inside. They didn't notice. It's been open like that for probably 2 hours, and they didn't notice. Anyways, okay, so we have another knit along, getting back to business. It's called Knitting in Red. And it's a 2-month knit along. I would like you to start this pattern no earlier than June 1st, and then you can complete it by the end of July. What is required for this? Well, it's knitting in red. So there has to be, the majority of whatever you're knitting has to be red. If it's a little thing, You have to have more than one. You have, let's say you have to have three, because that's so easy, and you have 2 months. So make sure, if it's knitted or crocheted, I don't care. Just make sure that it's mainly red. Take a picture of it when you're finished. Post it in the Knitting in Red. You know where I got that from. Lady in Red. When I decided we were going to do Knitting in Red, that song came to mind. So it's Knitting in Red. Anyways, take a picture of your item. Post it in the Ravelry thread, Knitting in Red. If there's a pattern name, please post it. And at the end of July, I'll do a drawing. Do 2 drawings. Well, actually, it would be August 1st. I put the wrong date on here because I don't remember typing August. Yeah. The winners will be done on August 1st. Sorry about that. That was my mistake. Let's see. You can post it on the Ravelry thread. You can post it on either one of my blogs, WordPress or Blogger. And they're both Naturally Kim's Knitting. So if you do a search, something like that should come up. What are the prices? Well, the prices are the same as the finished object one, except there'll be one gift card for Amazon, one gift card for KnitPicks, one giftable pattern up to $10, or this book, 2 at a Time Socks. And I've reviewed this before. It's a really cute book. It's got lots of cute socks in it. So and it's about different ways of knitting 2 at a time. I did actually use this book to learn how to do 2 at a time, but it's not my favorite way of knitting anymore. So, But they even tell you how to, they do everything. They have a classic sock, they have sailors, well, just have a wide variety. So anyways, if you're interested in this, that could be one of the prizes. That will be one of the prizes. Okay. Whew. Okay, let's see. What's on my needles? Funny you should ask. I love visiting like this, and I just bring all my crafts along with me just so I can show them to you. Well, let's see. First of all, is a pair of socks for an undetermined person. I have, it's a Christmas sock. They're Christmas socks. I just don't know who they're for yet. In fact, I've got to decide because I'm going to start the pattern part today. I just finished the toe. I stayed up a little bit later than I normally do, just so I could finish the toe. Now, this is the yarn that I've done a graduated dye on. So hopefully, as I get closer to the top, it will get more and more solid. Then I've got enough for another pair of socks, and it will probably be all purple. But this is just made with purple Kool-Aid. And I like how it kind of breaks up into the blues. And then you have these spots of purple. Yes, they are purple. They just look like they're blue. Sorry about that. So both toes are done. And I'm going to be working on these. I'm sorry, no, I'm not having an earthquake. Then I was able to work on my soup kitchen socks some this week. I actually worked on these quite a bit. I didn't bring over my cousin's socks. I just didn't work on this one very much. I thought I was picking this one up the other day, and I picked this up, and I like it because it's blind knitting, because it's just a vanilla sock. But instead, I picked up this one, and I continued knitting on it. So I like to work on them till they're about even, but that's okay. So this is just scrap yarn. It's for the soup kitchen. I like to have one of those going at all times. If you don't mind me pausing again, I'm going to find my cousin's socks. I said I have to go find them. I knew where they were at because, you know me, I haven't done the ends yet. I usually put off weaving ends in anyways, but right now that movement hurts my arm. And my therapist would tell me, if it bites your arm, do not do it. Or, take care with it. Anyway, so these are my cousin Leanne's socks. And these are made from that Indulgence 6-ply. They are nice and warm and nice and soft, and they have silk in them. And I like them, and I hope she does too. So I've got both my Linda and Leanne socks done, and as soon as I get the waves woven in, the ends woven in, I will be sending those off. I am very happy with them. I'm very happy with them. Okay, and I realize that's a done object, almost, except for the ends. That's just like this. I have to make a pom-pom yet. Oh, oh, okay. That's the that's the tail from where I finish, and I like to use that when I attach a pom-pom. Anyways, this was made. Oh, it Sandpiper. This was made from Knit Picks, that yarn that I'm doing that I'm an influencer with. Oh, this is Chroma worsted weight, Chroma twist worsted weight, and this is done in Sandpiper. Yes, it's soft. It passes the cheek test. But isn't that gorgeous? And did I have enough for a second one? If I did, I'd have to get that hat out for next week. It's probably over there waiting for its pom-pom too. It is from the same yarn. I just haven't done the pom-pom yet. So, oh, this is going to be such a nice hat. And let me tell you, this does not split. It's very soft, and I really, really do like this yarn. In fact, I had the label up here because I was going to look at it, but it must have moved when I moved one time. I am so sorry. Silly camera. Silly camera. Okay, now I've got a few acquisitions this week. Oh no! And one of them just fell. I'm just going to get out the picture for a second. I hope you didn't see my backside. I'm sorry if you did. I've been going to eBay and picking up yarn. Well, I found this was actually on the chair where I keep my things. So it's Chroma Twist worsted weight. And of course it doesn't want to focus. Come on. There we go. 100 grams in Sandpiper is 70% superwash wool, 30% nylon. And I should put the washing. Machine wash cold, tumble dry low. It is lovely yarn. I've always been a Chroma Twist fan anyways. And this is just a wonderful addition to their family. They also have Chroma Twist in bulky now too. Okay, so I've been going on eBay, and I've been I see if I can find yarns, and including the shipping, I keep it under a certain amount. I've been able to stock up on a few things, a couple of them from the same person. But let me show you this one first. This is from The Wandering Barterer, and this is another skein of Indulgence in the 6-ply. I was going to say, they don't put color. Yeah, they only have color 11. But I kind of like that color. Oh, that's a very good one. That's really kind of earth tones. I just figured who I could make these for. My son likes earth tones. I've never made him a pair out of size or 6-ply yarn. It would probably easily take this whole thing. I just have to hope it will make a nice length sock. Then from, I want to make sure I got this. Oh, I didn't put down who I got it from. I was sure I wrote it down here. Well, I love this. Number one, the color is cool. But second, it's called Virgo. That's my sign. So I was attracted to it. But the color is gorgeous. I was thinking I could make a pair of socks for my daughter out of these. I was thinking that because it's got different shades of green with a little tinge of orange, which her son will love. But that's what I'm thinking. Then I've got, okay, I got some yarn like this for my husband, only it was green and it was sheep. I haven't worked it up yet. This is for me. It's Wool and the Gang hashtag made unique, Kinda Magic sock yarn. It's by Regia, and this is called Feline Good Green. And it's a self-patterning sock yarn, and they have a unique 60-stitch cast on. So that's the front of the box. Now the yarn was inside it, but I took it out because I thought it would be too noisy. But then, you know, I got this from one of my favorite vendors on eBay. Her seller name is LMEX. Anyways, so this is the color of the heels and toes and the cuff. Then if you go in here, you can kind of see the colors of the cats. And then the sock itself is a light blue, or it might be green. So I want to try those. I think I'm going to try these for me. I think I am. So those are my acquisitions for this week. That was it, right? However, that LMEX, when she sends me stuff, she always sends little extra things. Like I've got a tape measure and a little ruler. And well, this past time she included this poem. It's a poem about, it's an old poem. It's by Anonymous. And I've heard this many years ago, but when she sent it to me, I thought, oh, I just want to read that on my podcast. A poem about everybody, somebody, and nobody. Once upon a time, there were 4 people. Their names were everybody, somebody, nobody, and anybody. Whenever there was an important job to be done, everybody was sure that somebody would do it. Anybody could have done it, but nobody did it. When nobody did it, everybody got angry because it was everybody's job. Everybody thought that somebody would do it, but nobody realized that nobody would do it. So consequently, everybody blamed somebody when nobody did what anybody could have done in the first place. I just love that. Okay, oh my goodness. Let's scroll on down. Oh, yes, I need to talk about this. Anybody who sees me on Facebook or Instagram, you know Saturday I looked more of a wreck than I normally do. I've been on an antibiotic since last Monday. Saturday, for some odd reason, this is my chit-chat area in case you were wondering. For some reason, Saturday, I started running a fever. I've got bugs on my window now. I'm going to have to get them. Sorry. It got up to 100.6. It concerned me because my arm also was hurting like the dickens. And, of course, I went to bed at 6 o'clock, which is very early for me. And I slept until 9 o'clock in the morning. You know, fitfully, but I slept. The next day, my temperature had gone down, and I was feeling better. And then by Monday, I felt great. My arm pain was only a 1 or a 2. Went to therapy. I showed her my incision, and I said, does this look okay for 3 weeks in? As she went over, she got my doctor's assistant, I guess, and she came over and looked at it, and she said, that looks a lot better than it did last Monday. I think we're doing fine. However, you know, keep an eye on it. So it's at a place where I can't keep an eye on it very well unless I look in the mirror, but even then I have to lean forward, so I usually have my husband look at it. Plus his soul. So even though I was even though I was very worried on Saturday, I'm doing okay. So I thank you for your prayers, for your concerns, for your advice. I feel so much better. Okay, well, how are you guys doing? I know I asked this now. So many places are open. I know not every place is. But I don't know if any of you have been affected in your families or friends by this COVID. You are all in my prayers. I love you guys so much, and this is such a nasty thing. So, you know, yeah. So I would really love to hear how you guys are doing. If you think about it, just drop me a note. I'd love to hear. There was something else I wanted to talk with you about. You know how like I have that two at a time sock knitting book up for a prize? I have been putting books up for you guys or anybody to request, and I think everybody is afraid of me having to pay the postage. The thing is, if you don't take them, I put them on paperback swap, and I still have to pay the postage. I don't put up more than what I can afford to do. So if you're interested in a book that I show, please let me know, because I'm going to pay postage one way or the other. I mean, I could take them to the library, but I don't even know if they're open yet. I think they're open, but I'd like to give them to somebody personally. You know, they've been a part of my bookshelf family for a long time. All of my books are part of my family, you know. Okay, let's see. Oh, I did want to. That's so funny because I put my acquisitions and I put that Virgo yarn, but I still didn't put who it was from. So I've been talking about my daughter's blog, and she wrote a really good entry this week. Let's see if I can bring it up. It's called Finding a Balance. And it's just really good. It talks about the stressful time with our rioting and everything, but not in a judgmental way. I will read a little bit of this to you. She's my daughter. And I know this has been affecting people all over because I'm amazed at the number of rioters there are in other towns. And it's not, or in other countries. And it's scary when the rioters get violent here. But, okay. And my daughter lives closer to big cities than I do. And anyways, and her husband's in the Air Force. This week has been a rough one. So rather than post lesson plans or product reviews, I like to take a moment and speak extemporaneously. I have been feeling many things this week: anger, sadness, anxiety, malaise, and most of all, questioning what I can do. I am proud to have attended Bluffton University, where I learned many things. But most importantly, I learned not to do something just because everyone else is doing it, but to do the things I think are right. One of the first speakers in my freshman class heard talked about Mennonites and the Pledge of Allegiance. For those of you that aren't in our country, the Pledge of Allegiance is something that is usually said at the beginning of the day in classes or thing, and I can't do it because I can't move my right arm that way. Usually you cross your hand over your heart, and I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. So she took that and she addressed it in here. Kids in classrooms across America say the Pledge of Allegiance every morning. Yet how many kids actually think about what they are saying? Do they really believe it and understand the promise they are making? When I see the flag, I choose to show it respect because I believe in liberty and justice for all, and for all those who have lost their lives, that I may continue to live free. Now she goes on and on with it. It gives me goosebumps. I actually wrote a comment thanking her and telling her I've always known she's a talented writer, always. But she's able to put into words things that I feel in my heart. I've never been a writer. I could create a cute little poem for the end of the year kids, but I was never a writer. I do book reviews. Book reviews are not tough. My daughter takes her words and she's able to put them down and express exactly what she's feeling and what I'm feeling. Anyways, it goes on. She also gives a couple book ideas for people to look at during this time to help them. And then she goes, I don't know if this was helpful for anyone. It may just have been a way for me to organize my thoughts, and I hope you don't take offense. But we must make a change because we are the people who, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, and ensure domestic tranquility, have made it our mission to promote liberty and justice for all. If you go and look at it, which I hope you do, write her a little comment at the end. I know it'll mean a lot to her. And with 2 little kids and a husband in the armed services, I know they're all feeling it in their house, as well as many, many, many kids. They might be confused, but this helps, and just as we're confused, for me, this helped me to comprehend a little bit of what I'm feeling. In fact, I've had to stay away from the news the last few days because I can't handle it right now. Anyways, I also want to tell you about my friend Nina's, her blog, which you can find lots of free knitting and crochet patterns on there. And it's Nina's at My House. So you might want to look that up. And of course, to help me keep in a good mood, I've been watching my animal rescues, cat and dog rescues with Hope for Paws, and I put a link on there. If you're from California, you might think about, I mean, they go out and they save these animals. They make sure they get the medical attention they need. They put them in good foster homes until they find good forever homes. And these animals need love just like people do. So if you're in California and this is a cause that strikes your heart, watch 1 or 2 of the videos, and if you think it's worthwhile, you know, it wouldn't hurt to give a little bit to Hope for Paws. Sorry, I don't mean to get on a soapbox there. I'm just... Or if you have an animal rescue, or give to a good charity within your own area if you can afford to. A couple dollars does amazing things. I'm very much children and animal focused. So if something's going to affect a child or animals, it strikes at my heart. And that's where I like to make sure I give to. Okay. Whew. Now, as you know, I'm a not only a Knitpicks influencer, but I'm an affiliate. So there's always ads. I don't know if they're that direction or that direction. Alongside my blogs, Naturally Kim's Knitting at Blogstop or WordPress. I can't get them both in my mind today. If you click on if you want to shop at Knitpicks, click on those, do your shopping, and I get a couple pennies. They still have their sweet sweater savings for 10 plus cotton yarn, 10 plus skeins of cotton yarn, and receive $10 off. They also have bear yarn. If you buy 20 skeins of bear yarn, any of their bear yarn, if you want to try to do some Kool-Aid dyeing, or perhaps dye yarn for socks that you're making, or mittens, or whatever, it does save you some money. It is less expensive. And depending what you dye with, I use Kool-Aid. Put a little vinegar in, not much. I think I use, for this grape, I think I used 5 packets of grape Kool-Aid. And then if you want directions, I will let you know. Otherwise, there are lots of places on the internet that you could do Kool-Aid dyeing of yarn, and they'll come up. Anyways, and then, so they have 20 skeins of bear yarn, receive a 15% discount. Then, of course, they always have their clearance sales and everything. So, let's see. I think that's it. I've not been able to... I do have difficulties typing at a keyboard for very long. However, I did get something this week that, I told you I'm learning Hebrew, and I'm doing it slowly. I want to make sure it sticks. One of the things they suggested was to get little stickers to put on your keyboard so that they have the letters and they have the symbols for the letters. Now, I'm sure they're not right because there's not all those symbols in the Hebrew alphabet. So I'm anxious as I go along to find out what they all are. So anyways, I did get that, and but it's very hard for me to type right now because to put my arm up like that for real long, I'm sorry, up like that for real long, it's difficult. I can knit because I keep it at my side. But yeah, so we were not trying to. I had an issue a couple weeks ago where it was on a Friday, and I went into therapy, and my pain level was, I think I told her a 9. It could have easily been a 10. I just don't like to use the number 10 because in my mind, well, one of the therapists out there one time said, that would be like your arm fell off and you're carrying it into the emergency room. So I don't like to say 10. But yeah, I think that was a wall I needed to get through. I always have a wall that I have to get through in therapy because since then the pain level's been going down. I'm just working on, motion and flexibility right now because, they took out part of my shoulder and put it back in. So, plus also they did, I don't know if you can see that lovely, the bruise is getting a lot prettier, but I'm thinking they had to hold on to my arm while they were doing that. I don't want to go into graphic details, but so yeah, so my biceps and my triceps are also involved in this, or the tendons in that area. I'm not sure. I was going to ask her yesterday, and I'm not sure. I don't see her tomorrow. So anyways, it's getting better. It truly is. And we have great hopes. She measures it every time I go in, which right now is 3 times a week. She measures it every time. And she always tells me I'm doing very well. So even though I had that scare this past weekend with the fever, and that the doctor came over and assured me. So I say great things about OIO, which is the Ohio Orthopedic Institute of Ohio. Um, I've seen many of the doctors, or not many, I've seen some of the doctors out there, and I've only had one I had an issue with. I'm not going to go into it right now. But otherwise, they're great. They're a great facility. And they do take care of me. I think I know most of the therapists out there now. So anyways, I think that's it. I'm just kind of blathering on at this point. I did want to tell you about my fever and all that and let you know how my arm's doing and, all the other little things. I wanted to tell you everything I've told you in here. So, anyways, I hope you guys have a great week. I hope you have a healthy week. I hope all your crafting goes well without any mistakes. But if you do have mistakes, I hope they're little ones. Love you all. Big, big hugs. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you next week.